Get up and look at the pictures we were about to show you in this edition of Run the Floor. Actual NBA players playing in an actual NBA game. It's a scrimmage, but they were playing, and it was great to watch. And look how cool the court looked and look how cool the arena looks. What you're seeing here, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George playing 19 minutes each as the Clippers played the Magic yesterday. George scored 18 points. In other news from down there in the bubble, Zion may be away from the Pelicans, but the team didn't miss a beat in their first scrimmage without him. They blasted the Nets in a game in which Brandon Ingram was one of 5 Pelicans in double figures. He had 12 points in 11 minutes of action. I continue to say the court just looks outstanding. The most interesting story of the night was that guy. The Nuggets started 5 bigs. Nikola Jokic was playing the point, and it was Bol Bol, who was a second-round pick in 2019, who had 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 blocks. He's 7'2". And so those were some of the things that we got to see last night. Our Rachel Nichols was there to see it all in person, and she joins us from the bubble, and Jalen Rose is here as well. But Rachel, I'll start with you. I was so fascinated just to see what it looked like last night, and I will tell you that just looking at the images that we get to see on a TV screen, it looked fabulous. What was it like being there? What was your reaction to what you saw yesterday?
Yeah, it's kind of staggering what a good job everyone did in such crazy circumstances. And it's surreal, right? Because you have NBA faces and NBA uniforms, but so much of it is different from an NBA game. Those giant video screens that you saw on TV, when you're standing on the court, they really surround you. It feels like you are inside a real live video game. And of course, you have the sights and sounds that are so different because there's no fans in the stands. They tried to really give it energy with some music, some announcers. You did have those quiet periods, though, where you not only heard the squeak of all the sneakers, but let's just say, Greeny, that I was 3 or 4 rows up from the court and I heard some very, we'll call them animated discussions, some real feelings getting out after some fouls between some players. But it also gives the coaches so much freedom. I heard you talking to Michael Kay in a previous segment about, hey, it's a pandemic. Everyone's just trying everything. And that's how we got that lineup you mentioned from the Nuggets. It basically looked like a group of circus performers on stilts. It was so tall. You had Bol Bol at 7'2" playing small forward. And as someone who grew up in the D.C. area and had a poster of Manute Ball and Spud Webb on her, for me, I was really, really happy to see, after all that kid has been through with the injuries and everything else, for him to come through with such an impressive NBA debut. Yeah,
let's see what he's able to bring as his career develops. But Jalen, I really want to just start with that. What did you think of what it looks like? And sort of put yourself into the mindset of a player. How do you think it will affect the players, the differences that Rachel is talking about?
Here's the thing that's going to affect the players the best, and it's going to play out in their performance out on the floor. As a professional athlete and as an adult with responsibilities and professions, regardless to what you do for a living, each of us has distractions. And as an NBA player, you don't have to travel, and everyone loves their family, but you're away from your family. This is an adult AAU with multi-millionaires that get to focus solely on their craft. And they're in a bubble, Greeny. They're not shaking hands. They're not kissing babies. They're not doing anything except trying to stay in shape, trying to eat right, and trying to win a championship. Therefore, yeah, it's going to be fast, it's going to be sloppy, and it's going to be unorthodox in a lot of manners. But the players are going to be faster, they're going to be quicker, they're going to be more alert. And I think that's going to create a better atmosphere for basketball for us to enjoy, to see how we get towards a champion.
Rachel, one of the teams that everyone has had their eye on all year long has been the Clippers, but we have seen multiple players now leaving the bubble. What do we know about their status and how we should expect that to impact a team that I think is most people's favorite?
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't know when we're going to get guys like Patrick Beverley back. I know that the Clippers, I spoke to Doc Rivers yesterday, are trying to get him testing every day he is out of the bubble. That's true for anyone who's out of the who is here and then leaves. If the team is able to get those players tested every single day, they only have to quarantine for 4 days when they come back, assuming, of course, that all those tests end up negative. But they are in this for the long haul, Greeny. You mentioned them being title favorites. They feel like, yes, it would be nice to have everyone here right now, certainly with chemistry and all the other things that were an issue for this team right before the shutdown. But they're looking at this as a game that they are going to be playing into October. So if right now they have a couple players who are coming in and out of just not the lineup but the bubble, they think that they can maintain that. And they certainly got a nice performance from Paul George showing them that, hey, they've got plenty of options there on the court even now with the depleted roster. roster.
All right, the favorite on the other side, of course, is Milwaukee, and they have been heavily. And Jalen, I'm watching you and Jalen and Jacoby yesterday, but for those who didn't, I saw you say this is a very important postseason for the future of the Milwaukee Bucks. Tell everybody why.
Here's why, because I believe, and I'm going to be rooting for them, because Kareem once left the Bucks in the 70s. This will be just as heartbreaking. I want to see them win the championship because I believe if they do, he signs that Patrick Mahomes NBA version type of deal. If they lose in the first or the second round, then I believe he now does not sign a long-term extension, and therefore people, and he has to be one of those directly or indirectly, will start to wonder, can I win a championship in Milwaukee? We saw LeBron as an MVP leave Cleveland. We saw KD as an MVP leave OKC. I do not want to see this happen to the Milwaukee Bucks. Therefore, I hope they find a way to win a championship this season.
You know what happens? The minute he doesn't re-sign, every Knicks fan decides he's coming to New York, and then he winds up breaking their hearts like every other one of these stars have. What do you think about that, Rachel? The idea that the Bucks, look, I mean, it is critical, obviously, that they need to figure out a way to make Giannis want to play his career there.
Yeah, I mean, look, first of all, a lot of people break New York Knicks fans' hearts, Greeny. I'm not sure I would lay any of that on Giannis Antetokounmpo no matter what happens with this contract. I would point out that he will have the option to sign a Supermax this offseason, but he doesn't have to. And he could definitely kick the can down the road for an extra season and sign it the season after. So it's going to be such a weird offseason. As Jalen mentioned, how they do in these playoffs is absolutely going to have an impact on it, but it's going to be a super short offseason. We don't know exactly what's going to be going on with the salary cap. And so there is a possibility that if they don't either win or get knocked out in the first round, if it's something in between, Giannis comes out and says, hey, I want my full time to decide and see how things go here. I'm going to wait till next summer instead of making a decision now. That's a third possibility that I know that Bucks fans don't want. They want him to just sign this offseason and be done with it. But the idea is there could be a middle ground for him, and I'm interested to see if, because everything else is so crazy and unusual right now, he decides, you know what, I'm just going to wait. I'll play out the final season of my contract and then maybe sign a Supermax after that. We'll have to see. I don't know.
Rach, I just have a minute. Is he the MVP? You have a vote. Is he the MVP or is it LeBron?
I certainly think he is, and I think that he's going to run away with it, just with the way the stats were. Greeny, there was a quarter of the season left when they shut down. There's no question LeBron was making a run, but that quarter of the season didn't happen. We'll never know, and so I think Giannis is the one who's the MVP with the stats that are in the books.
He's going to win it, right, Jalen? You know that I believe LeBron. I would vote for LeBron if I could. I know you are going to vote for Giannis, but he's going to win it either way, right, Jalen? Giannis is going to win it.
But you're one of those people that would have voted for Michael Jordan every year, but he didn't always have the best regular season. There were guys that actually jumped up and had great regular seasons, and Giannis fits the bill this year. #1 overall seed. He's led that squad. Giannis deserves to win MVP this season.
I would vote for Michael Jordan this year, and he hasn't played in 20. All right, Rachel, stay safe down there. We'll check in with you soon. Jalen, we'll see you later.
And right now it's getting the Clippers to the finals.
We know who we are. We know we stack up against the best in the league.
The Clippers win round 1 with the Lakers.
Kawhi Leonard is better than LeBron James. That's the Lakers' problem.
James step back, knocked out of his hands.
Can you describe the challenge defensively when LeBron? No challenge.
The league is not what it is if the Lakers are not winning.
LeBron James putting on the finishing touches.
I want to see the two teams in LA going at each other's neck.
This is what the NBA is about.
All right, we are down to single digits, 9 days before the real games begin. Until then, we got scrimmages to hold us over, and those begin tomorrow for the Los Angeles Clippers and many other teams. They play the Magic. Needless to say, the entire team is ready to get back to work. Hello, Paul George. Hello, head coach Doc Rivers, who is excited for the games, but he's also looking at the big picture. Listen.
The league's been great. They really have been, they've done everything right as far as I'm concerned. I mean, when you think about that, we're running a village for the first time. League's doing pretty well in city management. There is a lot of stuff we can do here, but as far as our health, we have an app every morning that you have to do. You're wearing bands. Everybody are wearing face masks. When you're out in public,
It's been good. You know, you're able to be around the guys that you've been missing for the past 3-4 months. Next scrimmage is just getting in shape, getting our team chemistry together, getting the flow, getting the rhythm. That's what I expect us to do. It definitely feels like a training camp. You're going 2 weeks or so without playing a basketball game. But I guess the pleasures is, just like you said, team bonding, just enjoying your teammates' company pretty much.
See, sometimes it's the little things for the guys. NBA reporter Malika Andrews joins me now live from the bubble in Orlando. And Malika, I know you watched the Clippers and the Nuggets. Both teams practiced scrimmages. What were your key takeaways?
Well, in addition to the fact that Kawhi Leonard was wearing slides that said fun on one foot and guy on the other foot, which was just great. My biggest takeaway from practice is they're starting to finally get all of their guys back. Marcus Morris was actually in practice for the first time today. The guys were just happy, Kawhi said, to kind of have everybody starting to get back out there and being able to continue to build camaraderie. But one of the more interesting things that Kawhi hit on is that it is a team discussion.